Okay, it's dark. It's darking. And I'm tired, but I'm going to make this video because if I don't make it now, I probably will never make it. But if I miss something or something you want to get more detail on, just let me know in the comments. And also, if there's a follow-up to any of my other videos where I left you having a cliffhanger, just let me know. I'm really sorry. I'm like working 60 hours a week and we have 10 people and it's really busy. So if I'm missing any details that you need info on, just let me know. So we set these windows today and we used the window crane here. And we lifted this one with the window crane, but our particular use shape and this particular vacuum lifter didn't allow us to lift this one because we didn't have enough head height to turn the vacuum lifter sideways. So we lifted this one by hand and it was heavy, kind of like all four guys could do. So I want to just go over how I'm attaching these windows, and maybe I should go back and talk about what a window jamb prep looks like. I probably have covered this before. If I did, so sorry. Skip ahead. But if not, this is window prep for us. So I've got some Adhero down over top of Extoseal, which is 12-inch Extoseal. I've definitely showed this before, so I won't get really into it. But on top of that, we shot a laser plane across the room and we set a master shim, and then we shimmed all of the windows to that level. We keep the shims low on the bottom, and then we try and aim for like 7/8 of an inch gap all around the other three sides, which means that on the overframe on the width, you got to kind of add 2 inches, and then the tape ends up taking up some of it. And then on the vertical, we add like 1.25 inches. So like 1 inch on the top and 1/4 inch on the bottom is kind of the goal. And so here's a window that's in, and we put a lot of screws on it. We don't want it to fall out. We use fully threaded screws, so we don't have any shims on the top. And we don't level the bottom of the window once it's in because it's sitting on the shims, and the shims are sitting on the blocks, and the blocks are sitting on the framing, and they end up pretty level. So we pull the bezel off of these windows. They're mostly made of wood. And we have a concealed location here where we put the screws in. Screws look like this. Shorties on the bottom. And then longer ones on the sides, because that's not enough. So we have a 2x4 and a 3/4 inch plywood buck. And I put a hole and a screw like every 12 to 16 inches. We live in a 165 mile an hour wind zone, so we get like 5 hurricanes a year, sort of. Although they're not hurricanes. It's just a wind phenomenon in the mountains. So I get those screws in there. On the bottom, I'm trying to hit these studs, so that's like 16 inches. Occasionally, I need like a fit-up screw while I'm fitting it, so that one misses right there, but it's not a big deal. And then these are mulled together, so this is 2 different windows. This is actually an old recycled window that we had laying around from another project. So that's why it's a little different color, but it'll be fine. So to mull them together, we put a shim right joining them, even though it's not supported by framing, so that they line up nice. And then we flush them out and we put a loose fit screw in here. And then we pull them with the suction cup until they're planing out. And we put a long straight edge across here. You can use lasers, you can do all kinds of stuff. I like putting a straight edge, like a level across it, because that's all the cleaning lady's gonna do. So if it looks good with a straight edge with a level, then it must be good. The outside of the windows have stop blocks installed on all the installs here, and then the stop blocks are shimmed. So the shimming allows us to make them perfectly level to the one above. It's really hard to set a block like that with a wood screw So it's a lot easier to try and get it in the right spot, but just make sure it's not too close. And then you can shove it out. And then you can see the windows planing out here. They look pretty good on the outside. Again, shim blocks on that side. And then in the operable window, so the first step to setting an operable window is to attach it to this fixed one, if possible. Or if not, push it up against its jam blocks on the outside of the frame and bag it to the frame. Don't bag it in the middle because it'll bow in like this. Bag it at the corner so it pushes against the other bag. And you can slide it back and forth with the bags if you need to get it centered in the opening. This one happens to be screwed to this one, so I did that first. And then on this one, I actually added a block up here at the top so that when the window opens and it tries to fall towards me, the stop block stops it. And then I shimmed the stop block with 1 mil shims until it was vertical. And I measured the main gasket mating surface here. So there's the inside gasket and the outside gasket. These aren't really doing the major job, but the major gasket is this one that you can compress here. So that's the gasket that mates on here. So I leveled on the mating surface because I don't really care if the window is level to the outside of the wood jamb. I mostly care that the mating surfaces are level and in plane so that the window's not trying to twist when you shut it. And then installing screws. So installing screws, I take off the latch mechanism here, pull out these 3 screws, and you get this. And then I very carefully put a 3/16 hole in there. Make sure not to go through and hit any adhero or anything like that. And then I'll get a big screw and drive a big screw in there. I'll save you the impact driver. You'll have to imagine it. But one of the things that happens with the screws is very important. When the screw goes in, it threads into here. And because they're all the way threaded, it never releases this. So when it goes through the air gap and hits this plywood, it will push the window out like this. So you got to release the screw by unwinding it until it comes out of here and then run it back in. But if that's not enough, sometimes you actually have to push on it so it's not pushing the frame out of straightness, because that's annoying to fix later. Oh man. So maybe that's it. So this one is done. I got the screws in there, same details, stop block in the corner, and yeah. See, you did this to yourself. Screw. So yeah, that's it. That's the video about the windows. And we're gonna put in more windows tomorrow. We're gonna get these ones in, and then we're gonna get those ones in over there. And then, I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll start insulating them. It'll be really nice to get insulation in here so that we can close this and then insulate around the windows. And I might make another video of it, but if I don't, imagine we'll stuff mineral wool in any gaps that are possible. That's a possible gap. And then we're gonna gun this closed with Viscon fiber, blue black. And then once it's closed, we're gonna put a very, very small amount of tape, pre-folded tape, that's gonna go right here, down, and then onto this. So it's gonna be Viscon fiber and pre-folded tape tying the window on the bottom down to this Exto seal that's underneath of this adhero. Because when this window leaks, I want it to go outside, and we are not going to tape the bottom on the outside. I repeat, do not tape the bottom on the outside. It's very important. Okay, thanks for looking.